If there was a test to see just how strong your marriage would be before you actually tied the knot, would you take it? Early show correspondent Tracy Smith found out that a growing number of couples are actually doing that, and she's with us now with the story. Good morning.
Good morning, Harry. Now, there is no foolproof pass-fail exam that'll determine the success of a marriage, but there is an evaluation that can at least point out some of the potential icebergs before you ram into them. It's kind of like a final at the beginning of the toughest course you'll ever take. On that most romantic of days, it's hard to imagine that the blessed union will end badly. But oh, it happens. The U.S. divorce rate is still one of the highest in the world.
The fact of the matter is that we are failing in half of our new marriages. And the society has to pick up the costs. You and I have to pay more in taxes as a result of the failures of these relationships.
So, in a move to promote domestic tranquility, the federal government is getting involved. It's actually part of the Welfare Reauthorization Bill. What it means is that the federal government is spending millions on marriage education. And that begs the question, is marital happiness something you can teach? The answer is, you can try. Mike and Harriet McManus, who've been married for more than 2 decades themselves, run Marriage Savers, a program to iron out problems before a couple says I do. It all costs less than $20 a couple. The goal of government funding is to make programs like it affordable to lovebirds all over the country. What is the one recurring problem that you've seen?
The one recurring problem is listening. People do not know how to listen. They think communication is talking.
So, to learn how to listen, couples go through an exercise guaranteed to get their attention.
This is the time of the class when the couple takes the test. It's not really a test, it's more of an inventory because you don't get graded, it's not even pass-fail. But what this does is it gives the McManuses an indication of all of the problem areas. They don't like to say problems, they say growth issues that a couple can work on and that a couple really has to work on in order to have a healthy marriage.
Jason and Kimberly have known each other for 3 years, but the test will bring up issues they might never have thought of, like those little habits that might annoy the other person, if a potential spouse puts too much emphasis on physical appearance, or even if one of them is using sex to control the relationship. There's no possibility of collaborating on answers. Couples take the test separately. At more than 200 questions, it's a whopper designed to sort the committed couples from the wedding wannabes.
This is our 50th couple we've mentored, and 9 of the couples we've mentored decided not to marry.
In the McManus' view, it's better to have 9 fewer weddings than 9 more divorces. And of the 41 of their couples who did decide to marry, all of them are still together. After the couple finishes the test, they each have to acknowledge, in so many words, that they really heard what the other was saying.
Did I hear that you would like me to show more emotion?
Something that I would like for you not to do is to make jokes when we're having a serious discussion.
Did I hear you say that you'd like me to not make jokes during serious discussions?
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Normally, half of married couples in their first year have conflicts that stun them. They didn't realize they had these issues, and they begin thinking about divorce, some of them, right away. And it's unnecessary.
The McManuses are trying to get churches of all denominations to make programs like Marriage Savers a requirement for a walk down the aisle. The sessions usually last a couple of weeks or longer. And if issues can't be resolved, a couple might just be asked to postpone the wedding. So, how about a test for married couples? This is me on my wedding day in 1993. Oh, how blindly happy I look then. And this is me taking the Marriage Savers test last week. My husband, John, who also happens to be the producer of this piece, took it at the same time. When it was time to see how we did, the results were mixed. For example, the test asked if my spouse discounted my feelings.
Now, how do you think you answered that, Tracy? What was your response to that?
I said I agree that he sometimes discounts my feelings.
All right, you agreed with that statement. John, what did you do with that statement? Do you recall?
I think I disagreed.
You disagreed, you did.
I don't think she ever discounts my feelings.
Yeah.
You don't think I do?
No.
Aw, that's
Why?
nice.
Because the camera's rolling.
Can you teach happily ever after?
You don't teach happily ever after. What you teach are the tools to resolve conflict, which will lead to happily ever after.
Now, out of the areas we covered, my husband John and I disagreed on about half of them, but the McManuses say that's actually a good score, so I'm not shopping for a divorce lawyer just yet.
Not yet. And there are no problems, they say, only growth issues.
Growth issues that you can work on. Isn't that nice?
So did they give you a little homework on your growth issues?
Yes, we have a take-home test, too. No.
We'll expect a progress report. Thank you very much, Tracy. Stop blushing. All right.